you finger me so easily?
I need you to do the intro for me, man.
All right, you ready? Let's take it.
Yeah, well, you should get closer to your microphone.
Hey, have you ever seen the video of Bill O'Reilly where he flips out so fucking hard? At
Fuck
that
it, we'll do
lady?
it live.
Fuck it, dude.
We'll do it live.
And then he nails it, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, well, you know, that's what happens
He
when
nails that
when you
and interns.
See, I was just about to say, when you have a high-pressure job like that, sexual assault is sometimes an outlet.
Yeah.
Not
And
a correct
also-
one, mind you, but an outlet.
And
A terrible outlet.
It's a terrible outlet, but you know what? We'll do it live. It's fine.
All right,
We'll
let's
do
do
it
it live.
Let's do it live.
All right, we're kicking it
Hey,
old
I mean,
school.
you know what? I just want to do a shout-out quick before we do it. I mean, you know, I know things have been tough for Aaron Hernandez, but hang in there, buddy.
I'm disappointed in that.
Why?
And
of the angel
flying high.
This kid's saying the next line. I only have that
I
first
don't know
line.
any of the
this
second
one, he's
part.
like, he's got Sarah Margaret and Chalk
All right, we're
tattooed.
kicking it old school here at University of Southern Montega University.
Yep, that's
and
it.
we're
was
kicking
the
it
next
old
one.
school on Thursday, April 20th, 420 at 5:04.
Yeah.
And this is You Know This Podcast, episode 2.
Episode
Sitting
dos.
here with Hunter, Brad,
Howdy.
What's up, man?
and Tony Ramiro.
That's
Definitely
your name.
Not Tony
That's
Romero.
your
It's
name.
definitely Hugh the Sun Man.
Sometimes people call me Hugh. but
Lori.
One
the
person
name on
called
the
you
birth-
it.
One person did.
One person.
Tony
Sonny.
Ramiro is
Alright.
what I go by
Sonny's fine.
most times.
Right, yeah.
But Sonny Lori, though.
Sonny
Because
Laurie.
Hugh Laurie.
Hugh Laurie.
That's
Dr.
classic.
House. He had a crippling Vicodin addiction,
Crippling depression.
which is fun. So
yeah,
That
yeah,
show-
crippling depression.
he was also just a cripple.
That
because of his
show is
leg.
easily one of my least favorite shows of all time.
It's a really good comedy.
It's a great show if you're at home and you're blind and dumb
I mean,
And deaf.
and
mean-
deaf. Because if
mean-
you can even hear it, you're going to have a bad time.
okay.
You guys want to talk about some movies and books?
You know what?
I don't.
Let's.
Just
I
kidding.
want to drop
Hunter,
down.
favorite movie off the top of your head
Yes.
in 1,
Yes.
2,
Saving Private Ryan.
3.
Saving Private Ryan.
Answered it before 3.
Quality
Yeah, well,
movie.
you know.
He's that enthusiastic about
One
it.
of my favorite movies,
He's given the face. He's
correct me if I'm wrong, is
Uh-oh.
that the one where
Is
the
it-
guy
where
is
he's born an old man.
an old
I
man,
think it is.
and he ages
It is.
backwards.
ages backwards, dies a young
Can
kid.
I just drop
Absolutely.
something real talk for one moment about Benjamin Button? You know who wrote that, right?
Roald Dahl.
No, F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote that.
Let's look it up.
This isn't a
We're
joke
not
here.
looking it up.
This isn't a joke.
We don't
Is
have
that-
time for that.
That's 100% an F. Scott Fitzgerald book.
It can't be. I thought it was
is.
Roald Dahl the whole
No,
time.
that is 100% an F. Scott Fitzgerald
It
joke.
makes sense.
That's crazy though, right?
It makes sense.
He wrote it to impress Zelda.
Puke worthy.
I
Zelda
know.
sucked.
God, fucking Zelda. Anyway, so
Off the
Hun-
top of your head now, let's see what kind of movie guy Hunter is. You ready? Hunter, off the top of your head, who directed Saving Private Ryan?
Oh, fuck.
See?
I couldn't tell you
Okay.
that.
And that's no big deal. A lot of
Michael
people
Bay, maybe? No, I'm just kidding.
Michael Bay. Well,
There was a lot of
Mikey
explosions.
Bay.
I don't know.
Mikey Bay.
It
No,
wasn't
definitely
Michael
wasn't
Bay.
him.
And
Absolutely not.
Brad, do you know off the top of your head?
Spielberg?
I want to say it's Spielberg.
I think it's
Has to
Spielberg.
be.
Spielberg's a
definitely
hard guy to
Spielberg.
choose, though, because tell me this, right? I feel like every fucking movie is produced by Steven Spielberg.
He's touched everything
is.
in Hollywood for the past 50 years.
It's like he touches it all, but you never know it. Whenever it has his name on it, you never know if he like did the lighting or if he directed it.
That's true.
Because he
That's
does
really
all.
true.
I feel like you never know what he's gonna be.
Yeah, I
you
mean,
know?
yeah. He's touched Star Wars, right? Has he?
I remember.
thought he did.
I
Maybe
think
he
him and
produced.
George Lucas definitely fingered each other.
Oh, I mean, that's not a
There's
question.
no question. They were up
That's
in
not
the
a
Ewok
question.
tree village. They were up on the Ewok tree village, and Lucas was getting it. I
You
want
know-
to say Steven was definitely the.
I feel
the
like
giver.
Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker, for those people who don't know, was watching
the Hamilnator.
the Hamilnator, which is what he's called by his close
Yeah.
friends.
And remember, while they were doing it, they were like, "Hop on the Hamel, yeah."
Yeah.
That was sick.
You know this.
did
You
not say
know
that.
this.
you know.
You know this.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, Brad, one of the favorite movies off the top of your head, and let's see what you know about it.
Okay. So my personal favorite movie is Into the Wild, directed by Sean Penn.
Never seen that movie
Correct
ever.
me if I'm wrong.
I will.
Guy, born an old man,
Yes.
dies a young baby,
Yeah.
reverse age.
Yep.
That sounds good.
That's it, man.
Sounds like it.
That's a
That's it.
sick ass movie.
He's a great movie, man.
Who directed it?
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn directed that.
Sean Penn directed Into the Wild.
Unbelievable.
I know, it's a great movie.
Cinematography is off the chain.
Amazing cinematography in Into the Wild. Hunt, you should check out Into the Wild because you like those Alaska shows. Because of their cinematography.
Those Alaska shows.
I
There's like,
was gonna say the
like
same
the
thing.
one good Alaska
What's
show.
it called? Life Below Zero?
Life Below Zero. That's
You like
a good
Life
show.
Below Zero because of the cinematography.
It
The
does have some
cinematography
really good
is
stuff.
off the chain and Into the Wild. Also, it's a horribly depressing movie, but it's got some fun parts.
Yeah,
Well,
I would say. I mean, it has
has
some
fun
fun
parts.
parts.
It's got some fun
know what
parts.
it is for me.
It's authentic.
It's a 2-hour Levi ad.
It really is.
Because if you look at any ad for Levi's,
It is
basically Into
it's
the
like,
Wild.
It's like a tourism board for like the heartland of America, but the guy in
That
it just
is
happens
true.
to kill himself or starve to death, I should say.
Well, no, I mean, he did end up dying.
Yeah.
Kind of on his own.
Yeah, technically it's suicide, I would say.
Yeah, I don't think he meant to. At
No,
all.
accidental.
Yeah, but I don't think
Philip Seymour Hoffman did.
it. Yes.
Okay.
And in that situation, I don't think he would have actually, like, I don't, even if he hadn't died, he
Right.
was going to die some way. Because
Oh, you
I
know
don't
that.
think, even though he kind of
Of course.
said, okay, I've had enough,
Well-
he would have never been able to go back.
Well, you know what it is. It's the whole thing. It's like, okay, well, his goal is like, I'm gonna get to Alaska, right? But it took him 2 years to get to Alaska because of everything he did in the middle, right? And once he got to Alaska, say he had gone in, stayed at the bus, made it back, and then he came home, will be another thing that he has to do. It's not he didn't have a geographic problem. He had other problems. And going to
definitely
Alaska
had
wasn't going to
issues.
fix anything.
Exactly. I don't think he found any contentment through anything.
Oh
he
no,
did
of course
either.
not. I mean, the his favorite book, Christopher McCandless, the person that's the main character of this movie, his favorite book was Dr. Zhivago.
Benjamin Button.
Close.
It was Benjamin Button.
Such a sick
And-
ass movie.
And he would write, like in his copy, he would write notes. And one of the last things he wrote in it was happiness is nothing unless it's shared.
I remember
Unless
that,
it's
yeah.
shared, right. And
When
it-
they add that in the movie, that's definitely in there at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so great because it's really true. Because, like, yeah, maybe.
And how did he die? He died.
Well,
he
so-
choked on a 7-year-old wiener.
Yeah, that's what it
I
was.
think he died from reverse aging.
Yeah, it's weird. He was
Something like
born an
that.
old man, and he
Died a
actually,
young boy?
He became an embryo inside of a bus.
What a creative
That's insane.
idea!
I know.
Yeah,
Someone
that's
should
creative.
call F. Scott Fitzgerald.
Dude, someone's got to call Brad Pitt. Get him on that. Who
Kate-
is that? Brad Pitt, and I want to say the female lead's played by Selena Gomez.
Yeah,
Gomez,
Selena
yeah.
Gomez.
Mhm.
It was either Selena Gomez, Kate Blanchett, or Philip Seymour Hoffman. It's one of the three. I think it might actually be all three.
Dude, tell me you don't want to see a Flubber 2 with Brad Pitt and Selena Gomez.
I would love to. I would love to. I feel like it would have to be dedicated.
Flubber 2, the
It would-
Blubber Trail.
It would have to be dedicated to the horrible, the horrible tragedy by hanging
Aaron
Hernandez.
Hernandez. Oh,
Murder.
you know this.
Yeah, because I'm putting it on record. It's a murder at this point.
I want to say
Well, it's
it
very
definitely was.
suspicious, to be
It
honest.
is suspicious.
It doesn't make sense in any way.
How
No.
did he not catch that pass
Dude,
during
let-
the 2013 Super Bowl?
Well,
That's
Let's talk
what's
about something that
suspicious.
really matters. If you really want to get into that, it does not make sense to stay in prison for 2 years, go to all those court dates and shit, and then ice yourself 2 years later.
Right, yeah, because that is the correct terminology. He iced himself.
Who's gonna do that?
Aaron Hernandez?
Nobody.
Maybe?
Well, I mean, obviously.
Especially
Aaron
not coming
Hernandez.
off a sick ass acquittal from the double murder trial.
I know. He was going full OJ. He could have had his own juiced show.
But it's different because OJ didn't do it.
Right, yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously.
That's the thing with
but
OJ.
Hernandez definitely did it.
He was a killer on the field, and then off the field he was just a guy.
I don't think Hernandez did either. I think it was a cover up for Tom Brady.
Yeah, because
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady's just maybe Tom Brady killed Nicole Brown.
Tom
Well,
Brady
look,
has
he
no-
didn't.
No.
Look, he didn't.
Tom Brady was like 12.
He
You
didn't
tell
go
me
to the
he-
White House
you tell me- yeah.
because of family problems.
Aaron Hernandez
Obviously.
also didn't go to the White House.
Oh.
Suspicious?
Very
I think
suspicious.
yes.
Aaron wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
And neither was Tom.
It's a connection. It's a connection.
Absolutely.
It's a connection. You know what it is. You know what it comes down to. It's the Rothschilds.
It is the
It's the
Rothschilds.
Rothschilds.
Yep.
But it do because you think about it, they own the Federal Reserve.
I mean, yeah.
Everything you have is in debt to them.
It's just we just live in like a fake society.
Hey, you guys want to know my favorite movie?
I mean,
I
if
do.
you feel like you have to tell us.
I have no fucking clue what my favorite movie is.
Okay.
That's not true.
I really don't.
What
Ju-
movie
okay.
have you seen?
There's
the
one
most?
movie that comes to my mind that
What
I've
is
seen
it?
the most. It's
What-
about a guy
Who's
ages backwards.
born an old man. For
Born
the
an old man
for
and
the
dies
amount
a
of
young
time
boy.
that you talk about Benjamin Button, I have to feel that you must like the movie.
I've never seen it.
That's that. It's either he loves it or he's never seen it.
No, it's because he's living the life.
Were
right
you
now.
born an
Exactly.
old man?
I was born a young black child.
I see. And then you grew into an elderly man, and now you're aging backwards. You've been alive for roughly 250 years.
I want to say closer to 300.
Oh, wow. So saw the
same number of Romanian warriors that fought in that movie. Do you remember that?
Romanian? Definitely not
What are they,
Romanian.
I don't think it's Romanian.
It was
What's the
Albanian.
movie called?
Scoutsananian?
I think the movie was
Scottish?
Scottish? Yeah.
Dude,
the remake.
Braveheart.
Braveheart's a great
300 combo.
Yes.
Okay.
Brave 300. That would be the sickest
the Brave
movie
300
ever.
or 300 Hearts. One of the two. 300 Hearts.
Dude, 300 Hearts, but a Hannibal Lecter movie.
Oh,
where he just hammers down 300 human hearts.
Just
like they're fucking eggs. He just cracks that bitch.
Hunter,
he doesn't eat the outside.
Hunter, could you tell me the logistics of cracking a heart like an egg?
He freezes them.
What you do is you take it. You take it.
So,
you crack it on the side of a iron skillet.
Oh, it doesn't have to be iron?
It has to be iron.
Okay.
Because if you're not cooking in an iron skillet, you're a piece of shit.
I only have copper pots.
That's not how it works.
I mean, you don't know my life.
I don't know how pots work, to be honest.
It is 420.
I mean, it is.
Drug usage is no joke. Come on.
No, we do not condone
Seriously,
this.
marijuana, first of all, leads to killer other drugs. Plus,
Why
there's
do you
over
think
4,000 deaths per year judged by only weed.
Why do you think that
not
Aaron
true.
Hernandez killed himself? Weed? I think yes.
Yeah, they found traces of weed in his system.
I mean, he smoked a pretty big doobie the day before, so.
There's actually speculation that those people weren't murdered. They actually just smoked weed until they were dead, stabbed to death, and shot.
Stabbed to death by...
They were shot, though, right?
Well, yeah. Well, he also stabbed a guy in the eye. Don't forget that one.
But the one he really, like
yes, it was like a drive-by, yeah.
No. The drive-by was the one he got off on just the other day.
So the one that he did not get
was
off on, yes.
It was like mercenary style.
Yeah, it would be.
Like he literally,
he hunted the dude down and like shot him, yeah.
Allegedly.
But and then I was reading
now
and like
it
the
doesn't matter.
reason, well, it does technically.
That is true.
We need the answers, Hunter. You need to keep looking for the answers.
Well,
do you think he's on the run with El Chapo?
Yes. And they're being funded by Tupac.
You're kidding.
No.
He's one of my favorite rappers. All right.
Oh my God.
So let's say
I just want to...
one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Definitely American Beauty is one of my favorite movies.
American Beauty is a really good movie. Kevin Spacey for the
That's directed by the guy who was married to
Paul
Kate Winslet.
Nope.
No, it was the guy who was married, Sam Mendes, I think his name is.
It is.
It was
You're
directed
right,
by Sam Mendes,
You're right,
who directed Revolutionary Road later on.
Also,
not really great director, awesome director. Not one of my favorites, but I would say for one of my favorite directors would be. I have a wide range because I love like Martin Scorsese, but I also love Wes Anderson.
Wes Anderson's really good. Hunt is a big Wes Anderson fan.
It's not true, but that's fine.
All right.
I mean, I like his work. I like Life Aquatic. It was a good movie. I did make a video recently in like the style of
but he's not a Wes Anderson fan.
No, but it was my partner's
call on that one.
It was my partner's idea to do that stuff.
Your
for
partner, dude. You're finally out of the closet.
I'm not. I meant for.
That's awesome, dude.
Okay.
What's his name?
For
What's
the
his name?
project.
How long's his dick?
His name is.
Is it longer than mine?
Sunny Meadows.
Whoa. well, then we know that it's longer than mine.
I'm the luckiest man. I'm the luckiest man.
Yeah.
So, but you'd say like Wes Anderson and Martin Scorsese?
I would say, yeah, and it's both. I mean, and they both come from the same reason, which is I like filmmakers who create a world, and I feel like Martin Scorsese always creates an overall vibe, and then Wes Anderson literally lives in a fairyland.
And I can bounce off of that. If we're talking about directors that create worlds, one of my favorite directors, Quentin Tarantino. He's good at stringing worlds.
Absolutely.
But I'd have to say that if I were to choose like my favorite all-time director, it's Werner Herzog because his documentaries are amazing.
Wasn't it Warner Dirt Dog?
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Yeah.
Throw off for the people at home. Throw off a title of one of his films.
Grizzly Man.
Throw off another.
What's the one with the wires? It's like
The Wire.
The Wire?
HBO
No,
program.
yeah, no.
That's a great show.
That's a sick ass show.
Yep.
He did one about dinosaurs, Dinosasia. That's a pretty cool one.
Another
Sick as
one.
fuck.
I'm not gonna do every one of the ones he did.
Literally
He's
never
got
heard
like
of either of those. So
Yeah,
another
you
one.
should look up
Grizzly Man. I have.
Grizzly
heard of.
one is a good.
Okay.
Grizzly Man is a good one.
Grizzly one.
Grizzly one. He's got like 9
That actually.
or so
Hold on one
movies.
second. It's been about 17 minutes since we started the show, which brings us to our first sponsor.
Oh yes.
Our first sponsor. Who is our first sponsor today?
That's
Marty's Shake Shack.
Marty's Shake Shack.
At 118 Grover Street, Goffstown, New Hampshire. If you're feeling hungry, head down to Marty's Shake Shack.
I'm going to have to cut in right there. It's a misconception. Doesn't actually sell shakes. Nope. He just shakes things for you.
No, he does sell shakes.
But you got to go in the back.
They're the number one in
You got to go in the back room.
But he does sell shakes, but only to babies.
Only babies.
Only babies.
You're getting it confused with Rico Shake Shack.
Right. You're right.
Because they have
which is a fourth trimester abortion clinic.
They have the subtitle.
That's real dark. Okay.
Shake your baby.
You guys started it.
Hey,
it's true.
I'm just nailing it in the head.
It's just like those babies.
So let's talk about paradoxes.
But before we do that, what's Hunter's favorite director?
Hunter, I think you already said it earlier. It's Michael Bay, dude.
Oh,
no, it's not.
I mean, whose is it?
I mean, I definitely really like Spielberg, but I mean, I'm not like I don't have like a specific person I like that much.
Talking about Spielberg.
Spielberg.
Can you throw out a first name? Because I just not knowing that from one name.
Oh, you talking about Steve-O?
I'm talking about
Steve-O Spieley?
Steve-O?
Oh,
Steve-O Spieley?
Is that? Wait, do you mean the guy from Jackass? Steve-O?
I'm not aware of what that is.
Steve-O sucks.
I mean, Johnny Knoxville's better.
He's got a dumb fucking face.
I mean,
I'll fight him.
Let's hear it off the top of your head, Hunter.
That's
You
fine.
think Spielberg's your fave?
I think so. Because, I mean, he directed Saving Private Ryan, which I did look up a second ago.
Oh, I see.
And he definitely did direct.
He did.
Saving Private Ryan. So I think it probably is my favorite.
Yeah, I thought he did.
He is. That's what I meant.
Okay.
All right, let's move on.
Do we have, before we move on past movies, can we talk about books a little bit?
No.
Hunter,
Yeah, we can.
you must have read at least a book in your
No.
Hunter's read a book.
I read that book about that autistic kid.
There we go.
Is it like a fish on the top?
Little Marty Autism? I love that book.
No.
He knew numbers.
He knew numbers. Not a lot of them, but he did.
I actually do like one book. Though.
Decision.
Oh, wait.
There is one book. I think it's called. Is it Scorpion? Scorpion.
There is this one book I like. He forgets the name.
Dude, I don't even know. I read it and
Rock.
I actually liked it when I read
King,
it. But
the Rock's film feature debut.
I want to say that was his debut.
It was, yeah. They just
Such
had the
movie.
anniversary. It was like 19 years or something like that.
It's gotta
be close. 18, 19. I was thinking it came out like 2000.
It must be
1999.
It must be a long time ago. I remember when that came out. I feel like that was like a fucking 5-year period where a Mummy movie came out every year, and then they're like, The Scorpion King.
Yeah, well, it was like Brendan Fraser was the top shit of Hollywood, and they're like, put him in the desert and he'll do great. And then they're like, so the second,
they're like, find someone that looks Egyptian, but we don't have to hire an Egyptian.
Exactly, that's what they did. Like, get a Hawaiian.
Exactly.
But the second Mummy movie with Brendan Fraser had The Rock as the Scorpion King in it, right? Okay, so they go to I don't know why I remember this, but at the very end, he has to fight The Rock for like 3 minutes, right? And then The Rock's villain dies or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But then the Scorpion King comes out because everyone's like, I liked that part with The Rock. So they're like, let's make a movie off of it. I feel like that's a poor business choice.
Yeah, I had no idea that he was in another one.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and I might be getting
that was before The Rock was known as Dwayne Johnson, too. He was just The Rock.
It was like The Rock.
He was literally just The Rock, and then smells what you're cooking.
That was back in the day when we had to smell what
The Rock
is
cooking.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true.
He's cooking meth.
He would always
That's
cook
an accusation.
Shit.
Yeah.
He would
Well,
cook.
he was
founded on evidence that I just
he was
came
like
up
one
with.
of the he's like one of the best heels in wrestling.
I want to say he's got to be one of the best wrestlers of all time, dude.
Oh yeah.
Definitely the realest too.
Well,
no, because you have Macho Man and Randy Savage.
Randy.
Oh yeah. You're gonna break into a Slim Jim.
I'm gonna snap it twice and maybe once.
What I loved about Macho Man, everything. What I specifically loved about him is that as he aged, he lost words.
Yeah. Well, it just started becoming just noises.
Just guttural noises. And people could decipher it. And they're like, oh, he's hungry. Are you hungry, Randy? He's like, oh, yeah, yeah. And they're like, get him a Slim Jim. break into his.
I remember when he would say nasty shit, though, he'd be like, you're gonna suck it.
And they're like, Randy.
That was the worst thing to hear because you knew you had to.
Yeah, because Randy Savage could literally just bend anything in half.
Yeah, like he's like,
he would clap above his head and lightning would come from the sky.
Oh.
He was actually a god.
One of the only Jewish wrestlers.
Yeah, born Randall Paffa in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio, home.
Weird that you know that.
Okay. It's not actually that weird, so fuck off.
Okay, well.
It's not that weird.
That's fine, I guess.
Nobody likes you.
Well, that's true.
Can
we move on?
Yes.
Let's do it. Hey, let's talk about books, though.
He said, yeah, you like that one book, Scorpion. What's that about? Let's hear it.
Dude, I read it when I was in middle school.
Okay, so
that was the last book I read.
Do you have any...
Last year, you mean? Young queer.
Do you have any details?
So in your face.
It's like sniped him.
Yeah, assassinated.
Assassinated. Just like Aaron Hernandez assassinated that guy.
Oh, my God. And just he assassinated
himself. We think.
So sad that he was... Dude, saw this thing yesterday. That dude was like drafted into the NFL at 20.
Yeah.
He was a millionaire by the time he was 22.
Yeah.
And now he's dead, 5 years later.
Yeah.
Within 7 years, that dude got drafted, became a millionaire, and is dead.
It's like the same story arc that I'm on personally. It's just no NFL. I'm just going to be dead in 7 years.
No, that's even sicker of a story, too.
I know, right?
The thing I liked about Aaron Hernandez, though, was he always looked fresh, dude.
He always did.
Who the fuck was cutting his hair in prison?
That's what I'm saying. He
had a perfect fade.
He really did. He's sitting in prison. They're like, we think you killed like 7 people, Aaron. And he's like, man, I just got shaved.
He wasn't in general population either. He was in solitary. So who the fuck is cutting his hair?
That's what I'm saying.
It's just an old Italian man sharpening a razor on a strip of leather.
Dude, it does not make sense. It does not make sense.
It does.
You got this guy, and every time he goes into court, he's just perfectly fucking cut. Well, his hair is perfect every single time. It was never like he had a little rat tail. He never had a poofy little afro.
He could have rocked the rat tail and the poofy little afro if he wanted to.
Was he Mexican? What was he?
He was Chalupan?
We're getting real close to racism at this moment.
He was Chalupan?
Yeah.
And we've now crossed that line into racism.
Chalupan? Dude. Sound the alarms. We've crossed the line.
I mean, but why would the
Aaron's dead? No, that's so fucked up, though. I was actually on the record. I was talking about a different Aaron. I was talking about Aaron Lopez.
Not Aaron Lopez.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Take some of the heat off as I was talking about Aaron Henderson.
That's it. I was a giant Aaron Hernandez fan, like growing up.
Oh, who wasn't?
But that's the case.
Anyone with a gun
wasn't, but that's right.
Well, I mean, no, I really did like him. I wanted a jersey. I remember asking for a jersey for like 2 Christmases. And I didn't get one. Now I really wish
loves you.
We didn't have to like mention that. But now I wish I had. I wish I had got it.
He told his dad, he was like, "Hey, can I get a jersey?" And his dad was just like, he just walks away.
Wow, it's like I'm in a flashback.
Exactly.
And now I wish I had one even more because now he's like.
No, he's dead.
Yeah.
And you could get a lot of money for it.
I mean, I'm not saying that out loud, but yes, I want a lot of money for the dead guy's jersey.
You just kind of did, sort of.
What it comes down to, though, is, all jokes aside, I haven't been making any jokes.
How dare you?
This is hilarious, though, because we are all making jokes about it. But yesterday, on worldwide social media site, Facebook.
I'm not aware.
I think it was actually on MySpace.
Is that like MySpace?
Well, I was going through my MySpace feed yesterday, and I was going through my MySpace and listening to some songs. Oh, top 8. I was going through my top 8 friends, which Aaron Hernandez is on there, and I found out.
I just want to reach 1 million, like Tila Tequila.
I saw it, and I was like, dude, Aaron, why do you have a frowny face in your About Me section? So I went
because
in there.
he had killed himself.
Dude, he had just he had a sad face and then a little rope emoji.
Yeah,
and I said, oh my God, I killed her. So, but listen, for real, I did think it was fucked up how many people came out about that and were like, fuck that guy, he was a piece of shit. And it's like that's kind of fucked up, right? I mean, we're not talking about like 3 dudes shooting the shit, having fun. No, we're talking about like, I watched this thing. It was a CNN special.
Yeah.
And they, within the 5 minutes that I heard them talking, fuck CNN, by the way. Fuck Fox. Fuck all national news.
Every news source that isn't this podcast.
Absolutely. This is the only place you need news from. The mole men are real. They're coming to get you.
No fake news.
They're coming to get you.
Trump, why don't you come and get me, Trump? I'll fucking fight you.
Yeah, exactly. Trump, come and fight our friend.
You just want to fight everybody.
I'll fight the president.
No, you won't.
If that was allowed, I would fight the president. If the Secret Service would
I wouldn't throw down with the president, but I'd definitely let him buy me dinner.
I feel like that's completely different.
It's definitely not the same type of situation.
I just thought we were saying shit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we were? Okay.
I would definitely. Plus, I wouldn't fight him, but I would fucking...
You would have sex with him, wouldn't you?
No, I would not.
No, you were about to say it. I heard it.
Are you telling me that if the president of the United States said that you can gain things if you have sex with him, you wouldn't have sex with him?
You can gain things. I like the openness of that.
It's the president.
He told you could gain things. Like, you could
get stuff. How do you think Kennedy got Marilyn Monroe?
That's also speculation.
It's
fight
not
me.
true.
I'll fight you.
There's a chance JFK killed Aaron Hernandez. So
there is.
Yeah, there is.
I would definitely watch it.
On a grassy knoll somewhere.
Hey, let's put it this way. Today, I think Brad saying, "Hey, I'll fight Trump," is a lot less scary than like anyone speaking against the Kennedys, because I feel like back in the day, like the Kennedys were a fucked up family.
Oh yeah.
Who would like?
Yeah.
I feel like they definitely.
I don't think I could take JFK, but I'm pretty sure that I could take like the past 8 presidents.
Oh, I don't know. Obama would whip your ass, dude. Obama would whip your ass. And I want to say, someone was just saying this the other day.
I could fuck up Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter definitely. Yeah, definitely was
Reagan,
old.
I could take Reagan. Especially when he had like dementia, I could take him.
Okay. That wouldn't be a hard fight.
I mean, you could definitely take JFK right now.
Yeah,
because he's dead.
Well, no, we don't know that.
Well,
we don't know that.
We don't.
We actually
it was
don't know that.
Conspiracy.
But I was going to say, I know who I think would be surprisingly a hard fight? George Bush.
Probably.
Because he's wily, dude.
He is wily. I feel like you couldn't get a hold on him.
Like
he'd slip out of your hands. I feel like he's always a little sticky.
And plus, if you got like the best of him in the fight, he'd be like, "Dad, please." Like he'd definitely call his dad over, which it was useless because his dad would have to roll over in that chair of his, dude.
Well,
the chair with the wheels on the bottom, if you know what I'm saying.
I mean, if you fight George Bush, you have to deal with Dick Cheney, and he's
a fucking cold-blooded
He's a Bond villain.
Bastard,
he's a Bond villain, and he'll just shoot you in the face.
He will shoot you cold-blooded.
And this isn't a joke. He's actually
not only will he shoot you, but he'll make you go on record that it was your fault.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what that dude did.
As
He's
you're
like,
being
Dick did nothing wrong.
As you're being put in the ambulance.
Can you believe I walked in front of him?
Like, you'll be apologizing. I'll be apologizing by the time I'm in the ambulance. Maybe before.
Well, that's how. I mean, I think honestly, like big powers like that. I think people who are in those positions. That's why it's like I think you start off as Brad being like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fight Trump," and then me joking around about like, "Oh yeah, I'd let him buy me dinner." And I think honestly, it's like Brad would go to fight him and end up being taken out to dinner. And he'd probably come back and he'd be like, he probably wouldn't even remember what the fuck happened.
Probably.
Because he'd probably just be like, oh man, like.
Because this is the thing.
He definitely
if I go to, I mean, wine, dine, and 69'd.
Oh, dude.
Oh, no.
Imagine that 69 though.
It's like attacking the Lorax.
The soft white flesh on your chin, dude.
Oh, I don't want to hear that.
So disgusting.
Oh,
that's
God,
really gross.
Soft white flesh.
I never want to picture that in my mind.
It's true, though.
We're not trying to give people nightmares up in here.
It's true, though.
I feel, though, if Trump offered to get me dinner and he said, only at one of my establishments, I'd be like, well, I'll still fight you.
I would have said fuck off.
Yeah, oh, totally.
Well, I mean, his establishments probably suck ass anyways.
Well, yeah, of course
Trump
they do.
steaks.
Does he own a restaurant?
Yeah, there's a restaurant in Trump Tower. It's Trump Grill.
Ew.
That is the lamest.
Do they only cook Trump steaks?
Hey, what about this though? What about this scenario?
No, they make that they make that taco bowl that he put on the Cinco de Mayo. He's like, I love Mexicans.
That was, dude. You want to talk about crossing the line of racist? There it is, right there.
Well, it's because he's genuinely racist.
Hey, this is the situation. You're walking, right? You're like, okay, I'm gonna go fight Donald Trump. This is it. This is
that's usually my mindset.
So you're walking there, right? You open the door. Donald Trump's not there. Guess who's there? Super Chef Bobby Flay. And he invites you to one of his restaurants.
I would never fight Bobby Flay.
You guys go out, have the best dinner of your life, and forget about the whole thing. That would be a sick ass.
That would just
scenario.
be a nice night. Bobby Flay is a national treasure, 1. 2, beautiful man. 3, I'd never fight him.
Been married 5 times.
He should be. He shouldn't tie himself down.
No.
If we just mentioned Bobby Flay, Hunt, you watch Food Network, obviously.
No, but
who the fuck?
I know who Bobby Flay is, but
who the fuck do you think you are?
The fuck do you watch on TV?
Not that. But
how dare you? If you're not watching Food Network, do you not get to see Giada try to pronounce Italian things?
Oh.
Prosciutto.
All right, here we are. We're preparing the prosciutto rippies.
See, that's not even a joke.
That's not.
It's not a joke. There's a large amount of. You need to write this down, Hunter. There's a large amount.
What do you do at home, Hunter? Do you actually cook and not just watch it on television?
I do both at the same time.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, you learn from it?
I have never learned anything.
What the fuck kind of tone is that, dude?
I know.
You great for me.
We don't need this.
Yeah.
My favorite is Aron Sanchez, if we're talking about pronunciations.
Aron
Sanchez, because what he does is he just has a normal voice with no accent. And he'll be like,
Haroon.
what I really like about this taco is your use of the cilantro and the queso fresco. And
that's like when I'm back home in Tijuana and I go back down the road and there are two taco racks and I say, oh my God, could I please get one with extra creme?
See, it seems like we're being racist assholes right now, but you need to just listen to him talk. That's what he does, and we don't understand it. So, Hunter, watch Food Network.
Okay.
You gotta get Food Network, dude.
You gotta. I could only have one channel,
you gotta get Food Network. You just have Food Network.
I don't know why he's fighting us on this.
Maybe he doesn't have it.
Oh my God, does he not have Food Network?
Hunter. They found me out.
Oh my God, he doesn't even have it.
Did Aaron Hernandez take your Food Network?
Dude.
I can't admit it.
You know, while Aaron Hernandez was getting those dope fresh haircuts, he was watching Food Network.
Yeah.
He was probably like, Luca Ron's on again.
I love this man.
Tacos.
Pretty sure he was born in America, but that's fine.
Yeah, but
when you're watching Aaron. Hey, dude, I turn Mexican when I watch Aaron.
I was watching Aaron last night. I had a sombrero. Don't own a sombrero. Where did it come from?
Where did it come from? I watched that dude. I'm fucking trimming cilantro out of my garden.
You don't even have a garden.
Cilantro.
Cilantro. It's a CH for some reason. Cilantro.
Speaking about books, because I'm liking this now.
What's your favorite book?
One of my favorite book.
Or if you could just because that's hard.
Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde.
I just started reading that, by the way.
Such a good book.
I'm only like
shout
3
out to
pages
Yuno Diaz, who's the man,
and
would absolutely hate the fact that I said I'd have dinner with Donald Trump, probably.
Oh, I wouldn't. I said I'd fight him, so you know.
And I wouldn't have done. On that record, I would not have dinner with Donald Trump. I don't support anything about Donald Trump.
So you like the Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde?
Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde.
I'm only a couple pages in, but I did get it because you liked it.
Best book I've ever read, and he's up there with one of my favorite writers. Yuno Diaz is up there, and I definitely like J.D. Salinger.
J.D. Salinger's really,
Nine
really good.
Stories.
9 Stories. Now,
which is great.
That one I really like 9 Stories as well, but I don't know.
But let me hear your answer. What is one of your favorite books?
If we're just gonna go off of authors for the moment, I'd say I'd put J.D. Salinger up there with favorite authors. He's not my favorite because I don't know. I just don't love all of his stuff, but I definitely do respect the man immensely. I'd say
not
that
much stuff.
There really isn't. The man was very very reclusive. I'd say that probably one of my favorites, definitely Ernest Hemingway. I love Ernest Hemingway. But my all-time favorite writer is John Krakauer, who is the man who wrote Into the Wild, Into Thin Air, Where Men Win Glory. Eiger Dreams. He's really good at that sort of stuff. He's a mountaineer and a writer. He wrote for, I believe, the American Mountaineering Journal or something like that. It was a magazine. But yeah, he's amazing.
That's cool, I guess. Books. Gives a fuck about books.
I think I agree with Hunter that not who gives a fuck about books. Books are very important, Hunter, okay?
Yeah.
But I do agree that we should move on. In life.
Oh, yeah. We should just move. Let's just move to Utah.
Tell me you don't know someone in life who thinks that moving away would change their whole fucking life.
We just started talking about that with Into the Wild.
There you go. There's an ultimate example.
Or Eat, Pray, Love.
But
if you got a problem,
always have this thing where they're like, you'll see it all the time. Literally, it's okay, so you go on Facebook and someone posts a video. They're like, oh, I'd do anything to be there. And it's just a photo of a street in some European city that they don't even know, right? And they just think, oh, being there would change so much about them. But it's first of all, you don't fucking speak the language of wherever you're talking about. B, everything there costs money. You don't have a job.
Yeah.
It's what in your head, how is your head escaping to a place that doesn't even make sense?
It's a PSA right now, guys. If you got problems in your life, it's not always geography.
There's not geographical.
It's not a geographical problem. And if it is a geographical problem, it's not that much of a problem. If actually moving is the real solution that you need, you aren't really experiencing
Know who has
that.
an actual geographic problem? People in Flint, Michigan.
That is really topical.
Dude, it's true, right?
It's very true, though.
someone who should, dude, are the people in Flint would kill to be there, and it's just a street in Springfield, Mass.
No, it's just a clean lake.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's just Massabesic Lake.
Or any water at all. Just one little drop out of a fucking spigot.
They're like, hey,
I
they're
would
like,
do anything.
Would kill to be there, and it's just the water bubbler at like a cubicle factory.
It's just a house that says clean water here.
Exactly. And that's
factory?
I don't know what I meant by that. I was hoping that went undetected, but nothing gets by Hunter.
No, he's a fucking hawk.
But it's true. It's like
Get sniped, dude.
like they're just like they're writing their pen pals, and their pen pals like, oh, I wish I could run off to Paris, and then they're like, yeah, dude,
my
I wish
water's
I had
flammable.
water.
My water's flammable. What the
I
fuck
wish
do you
I had
want?
water. And I think people all over the world, it's like, okay, so you live in a desert with no water, and you're afraid of a lion eating your family at night. There's a geographical cure. For some people, I mean, most people, it's like, dude, that's just what you're used to dealing with.
If you're running away from love, then geographic is not going to work.
That's very true, Hunter. That is really true.
That was actually, I swear to God, that was easily the most poetic thing I've ever heard Hunter say.
That is the most poignant.
It's true.
I've
It's
ever
like
seen
if you're
McDowell be.
avoiding life, if you're running away from issues that you need to face, then there's never a geographical cure.
It's never geographical, but it's not just geography. There's never a any other solution other than just
there's
solving
never
the
a
problem.
melon.
No, you know this. It's never a oh no.
There's never a melon that can change things for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's getting a new job, moving to Paris, this, that, the other thing. It's not going to solve it. You gotta deal with it. You gotta deal with it.
Face your problems. Don't be a bitch.
You know another another group of people with a geographical problem? The Trail of Tears. That was a geographical problem.
Talk about exactly.
Yeah.
And that was, you know what that was? That was a reverse geographical problem. They're like, wait a sec, our land's badass. Like we love it here.
Nah, fam.
They're like,
keep
no,
walking.
dude, you've never seen it. There's a big dry wasteland waiting for you.
You've never been to Death Valley. We shouldn't be calling it that.
Yeah, they're like, dude, don't call it that. You've never been to Paradise Ridge.
Paradise Ridge.
They're like, I don't want to go.
I would really like some clean drinking water over here. It's like, nah,
They're
don't
like,
worry.
maybe.
How do you think that we're going to survive?
What about the one of them? Like, you know, they were like giving like a battle about it, and then there was probably one of them who was like, hey, let's cave.
Yeah.
Bad decision.
Let's just go along with it.
Such a bad decision.
Wish I was in Paris. So let's move on to paradoxes for a second, because this is something that like these paradoxes have always like interested me, and I've never really been able to, I've never been in like a class in like high school or middle school or even college where it's been like mentioned that much, but I've always like researched them a lot, and I think they're just really cool because they're basically situations without an answer to them.
That is true. And for the people at home, for little Sammy who's laying in bed, explain to him. I hope no little kid is listening to the show.
Oh, yeah, they shouldn't be.
No, they shouldn't.
Explain to the people at home, and maybe even to Hunter, what is a paradox in simple words. And I can sort of try to do too.
Yeah, sure. So it's kind of like it's like a hypothetical situation in which right and wrong basically don't apply to it. So the easiest one,
or right and wrong
both
apply to it.
Exactly. There is no definitive. The easiest one, and like the most known one, I'm assuming here, is the statement, this statement is false, right? So that sentence right there, this statement is false. If that statement is in fact false, then that means that it's true, which means that it's false, and it just goes back and forth.
See, I know a different version of that. So I know, picture a card, like an index card. One side says, the statement on the back of this card is true.
Yeah.
You flip it over, the statement on the back of this card is right. Or is false.
Is false.
Yeah, and then
so
flip
you just
it.
go back and forth.
So basically, it's like you can't have written on one side of a card, the statement on the other side of this is true, and then flip it and have it say the statement on the other side of this is false.
Right. It's basically a situation in which like normal logic doesn't apply.
Yeah.
And I always thought that they were really cool because I was always a lonely child, and that's what I like to read.
Again, because no one loved you.
Again, we don't have to keep hitting it.
We will keep doing it every week.
Hey, so yeah, we will nail that one to the wall.
Oh,
there was actually one person who did love him, was his Uncle Rico.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, we don't
If
have
you
to
know what
Loved
I'm saying.
him in a
well,
closet.
the lawyers told me not to talk about that. Oh, well.
Uncle Rico,
I like-
how you doing it to me?
I like the soundscape that's happening detailing the molestation I suffered.
Yes.
That wasn't what we were going for.
No, we weren't. I mean, he was just giving
your
you a
Uncle
popsicle.
Rico was an extremely young sibling that your dad had, and he was actually close to your age, and you guys played together.
Yeah,
you're just getting
ate some
weird.
popsicles
You're just
in the
getting
closet.
weird.
I don't really know what you're talking
like,
about.
Okay,
But let's move on to the Paradox again.
Yeah.
Want to have fun with you again?
All right.
Okay.
So
Brad, will you show me the wizard again?
I mean, yeah, totally. So my
I knew you guys wouldn't get that.
one of my
show me the thing you're not allowed to.
But you say it's not molestation, but then he says this.
Dude, because
you're not allowed to show him
like
your
you gotta
popsicle,
get your
dude.
yeah.
Come on.
Get your mind out of the gutter, dude. You're showing him your toys.
So one of my favorite paradoxes is one that's called the grandfather's boat paradox. And this one, it could be kind of given as a riddle, but it's more of a paradox. So basically, it goes like this. So you buy a boat, and you take it on an expedition, right? And while you're on the expedition,
Which would be sick.
yeah,
It would be sick, know this,
so
to be
fun.
out on a boat.
yeah.
Like if the three of us had a little sailboat, we could like record the show and then go out to Massabesic Lake and cruise
or we could
around.
just do it in like international waters, so we could like do
shit
Yeah.
with each other, dude.
Well, I mean, not.
That's not.
Well, I mean, but did you
yeah.
mean?
Dude, imagine if we could take out Uncle Rico on the boat.
Yeah, then it would get
Uncle
illegal.
Rico would have a
You would-
great time.
Dude, Uncle Rico would love that.
Don't
shit.
tell him it's international waters, because then the things
Be
come
like,
up.
you guys.
But that's
send
what
up
we
the top
want,
sail
you
on
know?
I
these.
mean, you know this.
Send
Um,
up the top sail.
Okay. So anyway, so you go on this expedition. You go on one expedition, and when you return home, you find that there's some damage on your boat. So you go to repair it. Now this boat consists of exactly 100 pieces. So that includes the sail, the wheel, everything. The entire boat, 100 pieces. So you take off the one piece that is damaged, and you put a new piece on it to repair it. Then over the next 20 years, you sail around the world, you go on expeditions, this, that, the other thing. And over time, a piece will be damaged here, a piece will be damaged there, and you'll replace it with a new piece. Now, your grandfather taught you to always be a frugal man, so what you'll do is you'll take the broken piece and you put it in your shed, just in case you need wood sometime. And at the end of the 20 years, you open up the shed and realize that there's 100 pieces in the shed, and it's every piece that was originally on the boat. So you think to yourself, oh, I could just build another boat. So you repair the pieces, and you pulled it back together. And now you have two boats. You have one that was in the shed, that was from all the pieces that were repaired or broken over the years, and then one docked that was made from all the pieces that you made repairs on. So which is the original boat?
That's a hard question.
I know, Uncle Rico, it's really hard.
Uncle Rico hate hard questions.
I can't tell, is it Elmo or is it Uncle Rico?
Dude, they're so closely related.
They were very
it's
close.
insane. The fact that he actually doesn't even talk like that either. He just does an Elmo impression all the time.
It's why he doesn't have many friends.
It's why he's honestly fucking scary.
It's also why no one loves you still.
It's true.
It hurts
That is
every
true.
time.
So
Sure.
I want to say, I think that is an interesting.
Well, but
interesting
what do you
one.
think the original boat is? And Hunter, which one is the original boat? Which one do you think it is?
I've said this before. In the original boat,
I don't need the attitude.
I'm sorry.
I know,
I'm
he
sorry.
does. He does like come at you hard right
He's
from
so
the beginning.
fucking sassy.
All right.
You
Well,
know this.
What is the boat? What is
You
the
ask
original
him
boat?
one thing and he's like,
I'll fuck you up.
yeah.
What's the original boat, Hunt? Come on.
He's like, I told you
Hate
once
me.
before. I hate repeating myself. All right, let's
No,
hear it, Dad.
the
who
original-
coaches soccer.
Honestly.
the boat or the original boat would be the one that was in the shed.
Okay.
Because
So it's the one
all
that
of the old parts.
the one that consists of the old parts. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, to me, that one seems. I mean, maybe there's like some sort of loophole answer, but to me, I would think the same thing.
It's the one that consists of the old
If
parts.
the old-
so
the
when I went
old
to
parts.
the one that it's the parts that were there when I bought it 20 years ago.
Exactly. If those are the old parts, then that's the original.
But
boat.
then you also have to wonder though.
How we keep from going under.
I mean, yes. No, but that boat that's sitting in the dock that has been repaired over the past 20 years, that's the boat that I've been in on all those expeditions.
Know what that actually parallels to?
What's that?
Is what about asking another question too? Is all, I can only imagine if we were going on a boat for 20 years, we'd have some kick-ass, badass memories, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what about that?
See, that's
So,
that's what I'm saying.
say you
It's-
have a boat, right? You got the 20-year-old parts that over time, collected to the point where you can actually make a boat out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the new boat. And it's like, I think that goes to show it doesn't matter, look, by the time 20 years goes by, you're not even in the same boat that you used to be in.
Exactly.
And it's like, where did all the happiness happen? Where did all the pain? Where did all the memories happen?
And also, it goes to show that
they
boat
happened on that fucking boat.
That boat that's in the dock that has been repaired over the past 20 years, that is not a brand new boat. That boat is still 20 years old. It has one brand new part, maybe, but it's not a brand new boat. And see, that's what really makes me think about this one, because it does seem like so cut and dry. It's like, oh, it's the one in the shed. Those are the original pieces.
Which is actually the true answer.
It is technically, yeah, the original boat is the one in the shed, but then you also have to think like, which boat is mine and which is a boat that I just have?
Yeah.
You know? It's almost like you bought the boat that's in the shed, but you earned the boat that's in the dock.
But I think that's...
Or you gained the boat.
Isn't that what they always say? Don't they usually say... Like
a bird in the hand is worth a boat in the dock.
Exactly. And
that's the saying.
People usually say they would be like all original parts. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like people, or even when like they... Yeah, people are always like interested in what are the original things. Like if you're like, it's if you buy an old guitar, right?
They're like, this is the same.
You don't buy an old guitar and then you're like, oh, but you haven't repainted it. You know, it's like you want the original paint job.
Exactly.
And I think in that case, also a boat is a weird example because it's like some parts of a boat, I don't think you would need to replace. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, the original Paradox was written in like ancient Greek times, and it was the original one that it was.
Do you think they had Chobani back then?
I would say no, but they definitely had Faye.
Oh, you know this. That's so true. Faye's older.
Yeah.
That's so true. What do you think, Hunt?
That actually brings us to our next. That actually brings us to our next sponsor, Faye Yogurt. Eat it fresh.
Oh, it's yogurt.
Faye Yogurt. Make it true. Make it fresh.
Is that from Stonyfield? Is that?
No, it's from Faye. You fucking idiot.
Yeah. Okay. Get it right.
Still,
or pay
no
the
one
price.
loves you.
Get it right or pay the price.
Okay.
You know, I don't need love.
Yeah, you do.
I don't need this.
I don't need love.
I
like that one. I don't need love.
Just start crying.
Well, Mom and Dad, go to hell. I don't need your bullshit.
I fucking hate you.
Yeah.
God. If I could just live my life as if I was an angsty 14-year-old, I would have. I'm saying if.
That's so true. We're all angsty 14-year-olds.
Like
so I got a riddle for you guys, okay?
All right, let's hear it.
Now, this is supposedly a famously hard riddle. I know the answer. I read it online. So I'm a genius.
That's kind of unfair.
But I want to see if you two can do it. Okay, so there's an island in the middle of the ocean in which a dictator lives with his army.
Is it Uncle Rico?
We're talking about
Yes.
Dominican Republic?
Yes.
Circa 1940?
And on this
'Cause
island...
that's a real thing that happened.
yeah, and on this island, there's 100 prisoners. The prisoners are stuck on this island and they're forced to work as slaves. The head guard stands by their cells every night. And at midnight, you can go up to the head guard and ask...
The head guard stands guard.
It's weird how he does that. You can ask to leave the island. You can ask the head guard to leave the island. And if you have green eyes, you're allowed to leave. But if you don't have green eyes, you get shot. Now, there's no mirrors. There's no reflective surfaces. There's no way of any kind for you to figure out what color your eyes are. The only way would be if you asked someone and then they told you what color your eyes are. But none of the prisoners can talk. They all have green eyes. And so they all see that every other prisoner around them has green eyes. And after years of imprisonment, the government finally sends a reporter to the island to see if they're being treated correctly. The dictator tells the reporter that they're only allowed to say one sentence and they can't reveal any new information to the prisoners. So the reporter looks around, says their one sentence, and then walks off. And within 101 days, every prisoner on the island has been freed. What did the reporter say?
He said, I saw, dude.
It's weird how you can get that correctly.
Yeah, that was insane. You knew it so fast. Yeah. I would say, dude, it's clear that it's fucking dirty.
The fuck?
All I know is it's 420, and that just blew my mind.
It's at least 15, though.
Dude, and at least... Wait, how many of the prisoners got free?
All of them. You don't understand how weirdly close to the right answer you are by saying it's at least 15.
101 Dalmatians?
Yeah. No, you actually got genuinely close to the real answer. Hunter, I'm not kidding here. He got actually close.
Let's hear the
answer for the courtesy of the people at home.
202 eyes.
And explain it in a way in case anyone didn't really pay attention to the story.
Yeah,
explain
maybe. Which is exactly what you did.
I did pay attention.
Bullshit.
Get it right or pay the price.
How many prisoners got let go?
Stay the fuck out.
Okay, all right. So the reporter goes up to the podium, sees the 100 prisoners with green eyes, and he says, at least one of you has green eyes. So now that's not new information because every prisoner can see that everyone has green eyes. They just can't see their own eyes. So they know that at least one of them does. So if you look at it, if there's only 2 prisoners, it's a lot easier to explain. So if there's 2 prisoners, you say the same thing, at least one of you has green eyes. So if I'm looking at Hugh, and we're both prisoners, and I see that he has green eyes, I understand that statement. I go, yeah, at least one of us does have green eyes, it's Hugh. And then based on that assumption, I have to assume that I don't have green eyes. And if that's true, that Hugh can see that I don't have green eyes, and so he can figure out that he has green eyes. And so the next day, when Hugh is still standing next to me, and I'm like, but he's the one with green eyes. Why is it that he didn't leave? He didn't leave because I also have green eyes, and he makes the same assumption that I did when he looks at my eyes, that both of us don't have green eyes and the other one does. So when we figure that out, we both realize, oh, we both have green eyes. Now, with 100 prisoners, it just takes 101 days because that process takes a lot longer. But I don't know. I read that when I was looking this stuff up, and I thought that was really interesting.
I thought that was interesting, yeah. That was fucking cool.
That's fucking cool.
That was one of the coolest fucking stories, dude. And I liked it. It had numbers.
It had numbers.
I thought that was sick as fuck. And I thought it was weird though that people can't talk but they can listen and understand spoken language. So
no,
it's
not that they like can't talk but they understand spoken language. It's that they're not allowed to talk to each other. So they're like kept separately.
That makes a lot more sense. I'm like, man, these people.
They could just like not know how to speak.
That is true. A lot of people, there's speculation that not many of us can talk.
I know I can't. I
know I can.
Randy Savage is my inspiration. I'm just going to start making grunts.
Let's wind it down. I hope everyone at home had a nice time today listening to the show. I hope everyone had a nice week and have a good week until we see you again. Hunter?
Yeah.
It was good being here with you.
I'm going to go ahead and do
Brad,
another.
It was good
I'm going to go
with you.
ahead and do another outro because you just fucking took my thunder right there.
Listen to what I was going to do, dude.
Don't care.
Listen to what I was going to do. Hunter, nice seeing you this week. Brad, take us out.
All right.
Let me get to it. See, that was kind of a nice thing I was doing. Tell me I wasn't hooking him up.
You were definitely hooking him up, and he just straight fucking shot at your face.
I have the transitions down, dude.
Okay, all right. He's got the transitions.
I used to run the radio station at my camp.
Was that a special camp?
All right. Brad, take us out.
All right, so.
Every camp special.
All right. This has been You Know This. This has been Hugh. This has been Hunter. And this has been Brad. And we want to thank you for listening. And we're going to hear you. We're going to see you next week. We're going to hear you and see you. We're going to do everything next week.
Tell them about the Facebook.
Oh, yes.
Or no, it's not Facebook, right?
Tell them about Facebook.
Tell them about the Instagram.
We want you.
Everything.
If you would, you follow us on Instagram at You Know This Podcast and on Twitter at You Know This Podcast. And we're gonna put photos from recordings and whatnot on Instagram, and we're gonna have all the information about our recordings and anything we need to get out to you on Twitter.
And we're gonna have an email up there for anyone who wants to contact us with possible subjects to talk about, or just shout outs that they want on the podcast.
Oh yeah, totally.
It would be youknowthispodcast@gmail.com.
Yep. And please send us a lot of Aaron Hernandez stuff. Because we just need to be
in lieu of flowers.
In lieu of flowers, send
us monetary donations.
Yeah. I mean, you know this.
You know this.
You know this.